Good morning, everybody. It's Paige the Organizer coming to you from beautiful Middle Tennessee. This morning I am sitting out on my porch before it gets so hot, and I just want to go over some tips today for people who have kids that are going back to school. If you're new here, my name is Paige McLean Ramsey. I'm a professional organizer. Been organizing for about 27 years now. I'm married to Jay Ramsey, who is a landscape and lawn guy. I have a chocolate labradoodle named Coco, and I love to grow beautiful zinnia flowers. And you've got some posts of my flowers previously from a couple of days ago. So today we're looking at the calendar, and we know that just in a few more days the kids are going to go back to school. Here in Middle Tennessee, near me, the kids are going back to school next Monday, August 4th. So everybody get ready. All right. So I just want to go over a couple of things that I think are really helpful for you to do before your kids go back to school. And that is, you want to do a big clean out and get ready for school extravaganza. Okay. Call it the Great American Clean Out, whatever you want to call it. But I divide kid stuff into 4 areas, and I'm going to let this video go for a minute today because I really want to go over this because I think it's going to help a lot of people. So I divide the kid stuff when you're tackling their room into 4 areas. The first is bedding. That's usually the easiest one. Do they have adequate bedding so that they're going to be able to sleep well? They need a good night's sleep before they go to school the next day. And what I mean by that is it too cold or too hot for this season? Also, is it appropriate for their age? I mean, do they like it? Is it something they've had since they were, in 1st grade and now they're in 8th grade? So look at the bedding. Is the bedding appropriate? Is it something you need to replace? Or is it fine and we make up the bed and move on? Okay, so the first area is bedding. Second area is clothing. Okay, when it comes to clothing, you've got kids that are growing fairly quickly and they're going to outgrow a lot of their clothes by the next school year. So go through all of their clothes. Separate their clothes. If they go to a school that has a uniform, separate out the uniforms from their regular clothing. All right, then you want to look at their clothing, figure out what fits now and what needs to be pulled out. If you have clothing that has been handed down from an older child but they can't wear it yet, put that in a bin. That needs to be in the top of the closet. It does not need to be hanging in the closet with everything else they're wearing right now. You want to simplify. You want to make it easy for them to find what fits now and what's appropriate for now. So that's clothing. I mean, I've helped people clean out clothing. They're like about to go to college, and I'm finding socks from when they were in the 5th grade. So go through and clean out that clothing. Okay, the third area is toys, hobbies, and paraphernalia. Okay, toys, hobbies, and paraphernalia. Now, I have been organizing for 27 years. And in my 27 years of organizing in the United States of America, I have never found a situation to where after we cleaned out all the broken toys, all the toys that need to go, the toys they're not interested in anymore, the toys that are duplicate, when we pull all of that stuff out, I have never found a situation where a child does not have enough toys to play with. So be ruthless. Go through and clean out anything that's broken, anything they're not really playing with, anything they're not really interested in anymore, anything that's a duplicate, anything that is not being currently played with or used often, because these kids have received so many toys that they can't even walk in the playrooms. It looks like a bomb has gone off. So be really, really ruthless with the toys and the paraphernalia. Now, for some of the things that are just memorabilia, they don't have to have all of that stuff kept out all the time. Some of those items or memorabilia want to be put in a memory box. So box up some of that stuff that along the way they've really chosen to keep, and be really proactive about what you do want to keep. For the little kids, you're going to have to make that decision. For the older kids, ask them, what's important to you? What do you want to keep? A lot of things, it might be that you just take a picture of it. You keep the picture of the volcano that they made, but you don't have to keep the whole volcano with the paper mache that's falling apart with baking soda and making a mess. Okay? Hobbies. As they get older, their toys kind of turn into what I call big kids toys and big kids hobbies. So group all of those items together. Again, ask the kids, which of these items are you not using anymore? Which items have been replaced with something that's bigger, better, faster, more expensive? What are the items that have been replaced? And so what are we going to do with the items that we're not really using anymore? So go through all the toys, the hobbies, and the paraphernalia items. Last but not least are the school supplies and books. Okay, books that are from last year's reading list do not need to be out in the room right now. That's either going to go on a bookcase or be stored away or given away to another child that's got that book on a reading list for their year. So try to streamline any leftover books, any textbooks that can be sold or passed along, any books that need to be, put back in with some other books that you are keeping. But, books and school supplies. I always tell everybody I'm as frugal as they come about, using stuff up. But every school year I tell my parents, you want to do new crayons and new markers and throw out all the stuff that's crumpled, broken, missing pieces, etc. So new markers, new crayons, school supplies that they need off of this year's list. But go through and look and see what's left over from last year. There's no reason to be keeping, 3-ring binders or the books that have half the sheets used up and then the rest is left. So get rid of some of that stuff. Be ruthless on that, or else you're going to end up with a lot of leftover stuff that nobody's using and is just sitting around. So these are the 4 areas that you want to tackle when you're, going through the Great American Clean Out for a kid going back to school. Bedding, clothing, toys, hobbies, paraphernalia, and school supplies and books. I do not recommend that you do all 4 of those items in one sitting. You want to break them up, maybe do one each day, do an hour each day. But go through 1, 2, 3, 4 areas, and if you will do that, your student will be cleaned out and ready to go for this next school year, because my friend Barbara Hemphill says clutter is postponed decisions, and you don't want all this clutter in their room and in their brain before they start a new school year. All right, everybody, have a great day.